No. I need to close the door a little bit. My son's got the telly on upstairs, a little bit loud. I had the door open before because Trixie, oh, there we go, put my beads on the front. Trixie was in front of the fire. Hey, would be true. No, Trixie was in front of the fire, so, hi Munchkin, hi Amanda, hi Amanda. No, Trixie was laying in front of the log fire. We've got the log fire burning. Oh, you can't quite see it, can you? Oh, you can't see it for my arm. Got the log fire going. Oh, I spoke too soon. One of the dogs is coming again. You coming again to get warm, have you, Trixie? Uh-huh. Trixie's come and sat on my chair. I just need to shut the door a tiny bit. Just leave her enough room to get out again. Oh. My son's got the telly on a bit loud and I don't want any copyright flags. Weather cold, Amanda, Esther. Cold, cold. It's not been raining today, but it's cold. Yeah. Oh, dear, dear, dear. So we've got the fire lit. Hence I have got the lovely, hi Denise, hi Nathan. I've got the lovely Trixie with me, sitting on my chair, which is lovely because she's in heat and she's not got her knickers on. She will not keep her knickers on. So no doubt I'm going to have to wash me through when she's finished sitting on it. But what can I do at this late stage in the day? Can't do much about it, can I? Unless I put something else down, and I don't think she's going to like that. She's already settled. It's like a turquoise blue. I've had it absolutely ages. All I can tell you is this: the stitch was called a leaf hopper stitch, and I got it in. I got the stitch out of one of those stitch books, and I just used a basic pattern and put the leaf hopper stitch on it. And it was Sirdar wash and wear crepe, and I actually made it when I still had the shop. So that is going back quite some time, which just shows you how well Sirdar wash and wear crepe does wash. Yes, I actually had to wash the front of it. I went to get a pedicure, treated myself. And when I got into the pedicure, I looked down and there was a big splodge of coffee. I thought, oh, you scruffy devil. I said to her, it was clean when I put it on. Yes, you know, you don't like being scruffy, do you, with a big splodge down your jumper. Stuff. Yeah. Oh, God, my toes were like Fu Manchu. Oh, God. You know, one of those things you keep meaning to do. You keep thinking, I must get me. And it's not one of those places you can just pop in. She's always busy and, you know, she works only a few days a week and I need a tissue for my nose and I don't know where they are. Trixie, what have you done with my tissues? Oh, I know. Excuse me a minute, they're on the table. Oh, there's one here. I don't need to go too far. There's one already here. She only works a couple of days a week and whenever I remember, it's not one of her days. And you sort of have to book a week in advance because she's busy. So every time I think, my toes, it's always the wrong day. Anyway, I was going on the village. I keep calling it the village. It's not. It's a little cheap precinct with about 5 shops in it. I had to go there for something else. I thought, I'm going to call in and book for my toes. So I did. Mm-hmm. I should go to a chiropody store, a podiatrist or whatever you want to call them, because I'm diabetic and they're supposed to inspect the bottom of your feet. But to be quite honest, they charge twice as much as they do to do, pedicure. And they only cut your toenails. And they don't cut them very well. They don't pay attention to them, and they don't massage your feet with all, creams and stuff. Oh, I've just noticed that's what my son was talking about. He said he needed to paint it. I hadn't noticed it before. He said it was something that they'd had glued on the side of it when it used to be the other way around. So, Well, my logs came this morning, so that's £180 I won't see again. And I've also just splurged to get a fire stick for the telly because I'm sick of watching Free For You. There's nothing on it. So that'll be coming in a few days. I never have any money. Never have any money. Still, I've got a roof over my head. I've got food in my tummy. Why should I moan? Not moaning, not moaning. Keep going, you fool. Yeah. And that's my phone. I don't know who's sending me a message. I need to do my roots. It's all happening at once, isn't it? How long will the logs last? Hopefully a long time, because I got to those big sort of sack things they bring sand in, from the builders. So I'm hoping it's going to last a couple of months, at least, for £180. Yeah. Hello, Moto. Hey, Jill. You recognise the tune, did you? Yeah, I've only got 7 thumbs. Can I have some more thumbs, please? Pretty please. Thumbs. Well, they call them a ton bag, but I don't know whether they weigh a ton or not. But they are a ton bag, technically, yeah. But I don't think anybody's ever weighed them. Hiya, Joe. How are you getting on? How's Daddy's house coming along? Wood by the cord? No, they sell it by the sack. It's got to be kiln dried wood over here because of the pollution and the regulations that you've got. You can't just burn any old wood. It's got to be regulation wood, otherwise you get done for pollution. They sell it by the bag. It's cut into little log things about that big. It's hardwood, yeah. And so that's what we've got, yeah. It's roaring away, nice and warm. Yeah, we've got to have the thumbs. I don't ask for much. I'm a pretty easy girl to make happy. Just thumbs, That's all I need. Oh, you've got no water. You're waiting for the people to lay the, whatever it is, the pipelines. That's what I meant to say. You're waiting for the people to, The people with utilities don't move very fast. Obviously, they don't move very fast in the US either. They move at one speed over in the UK, and it's like slow and stop, yeah. Oh, God, that sounds familiar, Jill. Yeah. It's like, with all the technology in the world, they can't find a leak, yeah. It can be spouted in the air like a geyser, and yet they'll say, but that's not where the leak is. The leak's further along. When I lived in Prestwich, our street regularly used to have like a trickle in the same place, and it used to not gush, but trickle down the road. And it was always in the same place. So you would think that they would think, that's where the leak is. But no, they used to be convinced the leak was somewhere else. Yeah. 2 logs at a time fit in the log burner. How long do they last? Not long enough, to be quite truthful. Probably an hour. An hour for 2 logs, which isn't much, is it really? It lasts longer if I put some coal on. But we were running out of coal. We need to get some bags of coal. Not big bags, little bags. If I put a shovel, only a little shovel. If I put a little shovel full of coal on it, it banks down and then it glows. Yeah, the logs burn quite quickly, unfortunately. They just go with a roar. As you can see, if you can see the fire just about there, that's what they do. so they burn too fast. But if I put coal on top, it damps it down, and then it glows, and then it lasts absolutely ages if I put some coal on. So I tend to do logs up to about 9 o'clock, and then I'll put a shovel full of coal on, and then it lasts until I go to bed. Yeah, I don't put any more on. It's my rule. I don't put any more logs on. They are kiln dried. Kiln, Kiln, kiln dried. They're not pressed. They're just proper logs from a tree. They're not that pressed wood. That burns like nobody's business, that pressed wood. It just goes and it's gone. Yeah. But as I say, you can't burn just any old wood. You've got to have proper wood, otherwise you get in trouble with emissions, as they call it. Stuff coming out your chimney. Your chimbley, as they say in some parts of the country. I don't know why people down south always put a B in it. It's a chimbley, not a chimney. Yeah. Or a chimbley. Regular coal, no, it's got to be the smokeless coal. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's smokeless, but you know what I mean. Smoke, can't put regular coal. No. Regular coal in the UK went out when I was a kid. It went on to coke, which was absolutely awful stuff. Yeah, little briquettes, little round things that looked like they'd been pressed out of coal dust. It was called coke, not the stuff that you up your nose. That coke that you burnt. Yeah, don't know what they call it now. Anthracite, is it? Or chimney? No, they call it a chimbley with a B in it. Yeah. You can't burn anything. No, the regular. Well, mind you, we're quite open where we are near the sea, aren't we? We are allowed log burners here. Although, if everybody had their way, we'd all be on those electric air things, you know, that they want us all to have, don't they? Those things that cost about £600 to fit. Yeah. Oh gosh, the old coal stoves. They were warm, weren't they? And they used to stay alight for ages. Yeah. Yeah, we've got no wood lying around here. We've got no trees, no nothing. Well, we've got trees in the garden, but we're all right to be chopping them down, aren't we? Yeah, so we've got to buy all ours. Ooh, ooh. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I was trying to position my camera a bit more, but I think I just made it worse. Yeah, the big sofa is going out of the snug. It's been sold. They're collecting it on Monday. So we're all reorganising. We're all having a swap round and a change around, yeah. My bedroom's been extended. I've got the smallest room in the house, I swear, apart from the bathroom. So it would be nice to have a bedroom I can actually, without touching all sides. So yes, I'm having an extension on my bedroom. I'll show you all when it's done. But it won't be done till, he's not coming till the 6th of November. Yeah. And then I'm going to have an extended bedroom. Hey! Can't do much about the bed, and I can't do much about the wardrobes, but I'll have more room everywhere else. Hi, Val. How's Eric? Is he back at home now? Have you got your nurse's outfit on? Val's husband, Eric, has been poorly. He's been in hospital. Yeah. So I think he was coming home today. So Eric stroke Val. It's Val, by the way. She's under Eric's pseudonym. Yeah. Have I ever used King Cole Forest yarn? No, I haven't actually. Yeah. My daughter-in-law's went to Manchester on the train because her car's broken down. Oh. And she was coming back, but the train's just been cancelled, so she's having to wait an hour to come on the next one. So my son will no doubt be going for her in a little while, yeah. My bedroom is so small. Oh, I'm not used to a small bedroom. I've got so many woolies, as you know. So many. I just don't have room. I've got hanging space, but anyway, you'll see when I've done. I'll be able to expand a little bit. And it's lovely and warm in the bit that I'm going out into. So I'll be, oh, it's a pity you don't live near me. Nathan, you could have dropped a few off for me. Yeah. I don't know where I got my mug from, but you like it. It's got knitting and it's got stitch. It is more or less a knit mug. It's got a 4-ply, pass the slip stitch over. But I do knit, don't I? It says cable and pattern. So I'll use it, yeah. I don't know who bought it me. Somebody bought it me. Yeah. I've got another one that says Knitting Queen. Yeah. Yeah. It is a cool mug, isn't it? Yeah. I can't remember who bought it me. It was in the back of the cupboard. The ones we use tend to be at the front, and then the ones you're not using tend to drift to the back of the cupboard. Anyway, this one made its way to the front of the cupboard for some reason. So my bedroom is being extended into the conservatory. Not having the whole of the conservatory, part of it. But it means I shall get the lovely hot sunshine coming through into half of my bedroom, which will be lovely, because then I will have room to put, I'm going to put my sewing machine in there. And my doll's house, which has been relegated into the shed, will come out. I'm going to paint it, and then you'll be able to see it when I put the furniture back in. Looking good, looking good. Yeah, I'm going to get some more of those doors like that, Jill, to go onto the cover the books up a bit. But it will have to be next time my son goes to IKEA, because it's a bit of a trek to IKEA from here. And they want, I think it's £40 to deliver anything from IKEA. You could order a house load and it's £40, or you can order 2 doors and it's still £40. So, yeah, so we're not ordering. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, having a bit of extra room. It means that, my sewing machine and stuff like that can come out of the shed. The shed's lovely for storage, but it's dark and it's a bit cold in this weather. I've got a little heater in there, but you don't want to plug it in, do you? By the time you've plugged it in, by the time it's warmed itself up, I'm coming out again, if you get me meaning, yeah? How far out? It'll probably be about, more than 6 foot. Be about 8 foot by about 5 foot. Or 6 foot by 5 foot. Say 6 foot. Did I get rain? We got a little bit of rain, but not an awful lot. Hi, Isaac. Guess who's got a snake, Isaac? Nathan. Nathan's a snake man now. Just like you. You can talk snakes together. Yeah, Isaac's got a corn snake. He's had it for quite a long time. And Nathan is now a new snake owner. Well, Joe has the snake, but I mean, it's the same house. Come on. It's like me. I mean, I don't own the dogs, but they're in the same house as me. Hi, Connie. Yeah, Nathan's got a Slytherin and he's got a tortoise as well. He's trying to outdo Dr. Dolittle. He's trying to, talk to the animals. Yeah. Oh, I'm not doing a before picture on my bedroom, Yolanda. No way. It's like. Oh, dear. IKEA is massive, 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 full of furniture. You lose the will to live going round IKEA. It's so big, Denise. And it's all one way. They've got arrows, you know, everywhere. It's and if you forget something, you've got to go back against the flow of the people, you know. They're all giving you dirty looks because you're going that way and everybody else is going that way, yeah. And guess who always forgets something in one? Or you go past something and then you think, did I just see up there, back there? Yeah, I did. Right, okay. Yeah, they put all the big furniture first, like you're going through the sofas and the tables and the chairs and everything before you get to where you want to be. And then you realise you've gone past something. I mean, with my daughter-in-law, she went past the candles and missed them. I don't know how she could because the smell was overpowering, but yeah, I lost the will. Oh, well, you know me and me. My son said, do you want to take your scooter, a little folding scooter? I said, no, I'll manage. I'll just lean on the wheeler, you know, the trolley. Forgetting, of course, how big IKEA, or IKEA as they keep insisting on calling it, is. So by the time I'd gone about halfway around, I was like slumped over the trolley handle like the old lady that I am, like, oh, looking up every now and again to see where I was. And every time I saw a bed, I sat on it. Every time I saw a sofa, I sat on it, yeah. Yeah. The big bags in IKEA, I don't know. I don't know, because it's all trolleys, I think, now. I didn't see anybody with a bag. Not that I could have carried a bag, I don't know. Yeah, those great massive bags, you mean, yeah. Yeah, like that man in the advert does when he says, see what I've done with my crib, yeah. And he's got rope on rope on rope on blue bags, and then he gets to a yellow one and he goes, this is an antique or something, he says, doesn't he? Yeah. Oh, yeah, meatballs. We had meatballs. That did keep me going. And actually, the coffee was quite nice. Usually, when you go to these places, the coffee is dire. Yeah, I didn't see them. I didn't see them, Nathan. Maybe they don't have them anymore. I wasn't looking for them though, so maybe that was why. Yeah, yeah, I didn't see them. I remember they used to have them like expandable bag things at one time, didn't they? But I couldn't carry one of those around if I tried. No, we had a trolley. Hmm. Oh yeah, we always have the meatballs. Have to have the meatballs when we go. It's a tradition. We only go about once every 2 years, yeah. Oh, it's crazy in there. You're right, Isaac. It's absolutely crazy. They have all these, for people who don't know, haven't been in IKEA, they have all these little scenarios where they do them up like a bedroom or they do it up like a living room. And, you know, it's all like little nooks and crannies, isn't it? And then they do them up because we had to plaster all the kitchens as well before we got where we were going. All these kitchen things. And then there was even like a little sauna thing for one. I thought I wouldn't want to get in that. Talk about claustrophobic. And it had pretend steam coming out the top of it, you know. Obviously, it wasn't real steam, yeah. But it was only like you have to be a small person to sit in it. That's all I would say. If you were a little bit on the obese side, you'd never fit in. And you'd have to sit there and it close the doors like, and then this. I've only been in a sauna once and I fainted, so they had to revive me. Oh, right, dogs, yeah. Oh, it's still quite big over here. It was absolutely rammed with people. When we went in there, it was. There's not that many. I mean, we had to go all the way to Warrington, which is quite a way, probably a couple of hours away. And I don't like motorways. I am absolutely about motorways. So my son thought I was dozing in the back seat because I had my eyes shut, but I was wide awake. I just shut my eyes all the way there and all the way back. I don't like all this traffic going. I've been once to Costco, yeah, because we somebody that I knew, their mother-in-law had it, you know, one of those cards to go to Costco. So I did go once, yeah. They're very big bags, Munchkin. Very big bags. I'd like to see our Rosie in her. Oh, she's disappeared again. Yeah, she's disappeared again. I can shut the door again. Oh dear. As soon as I shut the door, she'll come in. You want to know what I'm wearing? I've got a skirt on. Skirt that's got turquoise in it. That matches my top. Ooh. Oh dear. So I've done absolutely nothing today. Nothing. I'm supposed to be crocheting. I did try my little Addy, which is a bit like the Centro, little Addy machine. It would not play ball. It wouldn't. It just, and the bit that it knitted, it was absolutely, those Addy machines are meant for a US 4 worsted wool. And if you try to use anything from the UK, they don't like it. I don't know why I bought it, to be honest with you. I'm just trying to see if I've got the piece that I knitted. Show you what it looks like. It was a right mess. People are saying, oh, you can knit little hats on them. And I'm like, not unless it was for a midget. You couldn't knit a hat on it, or a very premature baby. I'm looking for the piece that I knitted. And the machine didn't like the wool I was using. It kept dropping stitches. So I gave it up as a bad job and put it back in its box. Hey, Shad. Oh, you're having a party for 60 kids Halloween. Woo! Don't be falling off the hayride. That's what it knitted up. I mean, that wouldn't even fit around anybody's hand to make a hand warmer. That's what the small Addy does with double knitting. That's what it does. That was more like Aran. Now, it likes Aran a lot better. But I had a lot of oddments in double knit that I wanted to use up. So I thought, oh, if I make some tubes, I can sew them up and make them into arm warmers. But as you can see, nobody could get their hand in that. Child, it has to be a very small child. But the wool kept snagging. It's not knitted it nicely. If you look on the back, there's all these pulls and snags on it. And it had all these loops at the side where it didn't like knitting it. So I'm afraid small Addy, no. And somebody actually said to me on Facebook, if you don't want it, I'll buy it from you. And I'm thinking I wouldn't sell it. It's pretty useless, really. I know some people have made tubes and then sewn them together to make a headband and things like that. But I just lost patience with it. It was like, it didn't like me wool at all. Just didn't like it at all. I've used the bigger Addy, but not to make. To be honest with you, the bigger Addy, again, is geared for 4-weight American wool. So when you try to use double knitted, it won't even make a hat for a guy. It would only fit a teenager maybe, or a very small lady. I was making hats for the homeless, but they were too small. Unless I did them in Chunky or Aran, they were too small. Hi, Tinkerbella Rosa. So my idea of using oddments up to make hats just went out the window. So, all right, okay, Trish. You're not joining Shad on his hayride then? See, I was wearing a nice necklace for you today, Shad. Look, but you've gone, haven't you now? I love this necklace. One of my favourites. Yeah, so I'm trying not, I'm trying. Yeah, Shad was in here a minute ago, but he's going to doing a hayride for a Halloween for 60 children. So I think he's maybe gone again. I don't know. You can try giving him a shout, see if he's still here. He was here a moment ago. But he said he was busy. So I'm back to crocheting. I'm just crocheting pieces and making them into little hand warmers. As I said before, these craft fairs we sell absolutely nothing really. So I'm not taking any more clothes. I'm not taking anything big. I'm just taking the dollies that I've been dressing. And I need to work out how much I actually paid for the dolls, just in case somebody wants to buy the doll with the clothes, yeah? Because my idea really was just to sell the clothes, but people may want to buy the doll wearing the clothes. I don't know. But they're not new dolls. Couldn't afford new dolls, blimey. By the time you've paid a few pounds for a new doll and then you put some clothes on it, you know, people wouldn't want to pay it. But second-hand ones, I can't remember how much I paid. They do need the hair doing, though. They've all got very awful hair. They look like they've been dragged through a hedge backwards. Yeah. So I need to wash the hair and somebody said put fabric softener on the hair to make it straighten out. It can't be any worse, let's say, yeah. I nearly got given another doll, actually, but when she got it out to wash it and sort it out, she found out it was an original Barbie from 1965, I think it was. So she said, if you don't mind, I'm not giving it to you. I said, no, don't. I said, do you put it on eBay and see what you can get for it if it's an original Barbie? Because I would have only, you know, it would have only been sold at the craft fair for a few quid if she'd have given it to me. Because I'm not into Barbie. I need to crochet some little rugs for when I do me dolly's house. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Unlike Tracy, I didn't have any warning. Tracy always goes, I'm going to pause the video. I never get time to pause mine. Yeah, I haven't got any carpets from a dolly's house, and I might need to wallpaper or paint, you know. It was a very cheap dolly's house I bought that needs refurbishing. I have been promised some little pieces of fabric, you know, like the little fat quarters to make the little curtains for it. And I've got some lace already that I can make the lace curtains with. I think it's got about 9 windows, actually. Oh, mermaids, yeah. Seashells on the chest. Oh. Oh, I once made 2 of those mermaid tails. I lost the will to live halfway through them. You know what I'm like with blankets, yeah. Hi, lilac roses and the moon. Hello. Can I have some thumbs up, please? I've got 46 people in the room and only 18 thumbs up. It's a bit of a discrepancy. Thumbs in the air, girls and boys. Oh, sounds like my son's on the move. He's got to pick my daughter-in-law up from the train station. The car's broken down. It broke down when she went over to Radcliffe. But luckily she's in the RAC, which is one of those road recovery people, and they brought her back to a garage up the road, and that's where it is until it gets mended. Don't know what's wrong with it, but some flashing lights or something or other. I don't know what were flashing, but as long as it wasn't her that was flashing, we're all right, aren't we? So no doubt the dogs will come flying in when my son goes to pick her up from the train station. I'm waiting for them to finish doing the tram. They've been doing the tram all the way to the train station since we've been here, which is almost 3 years now. It's 3 years in December since we moved here. And, oh yeah, they were doing it when we moved here 3 years ago. Yeah, well, they were doing it. And I still haven't done it. Then I'll be able to hop on a tram, go straight to Blackpool station, hop on a train and go to Manchester or anywhere. Yay! The only thing I can think about with the mermaid is that one with Hannah. Hannah, what's it in? What was it called when that guy fell in love with a mermaid? Can't think of the name of the film now. I did watch it at the time. Daryl Hannah, that's what she was called. The one who played the mermaid. That's the only the only mermaid film I can think of. They used to call them shelties, didn't they? Shelties. You know, it makes you wonder whether they had a few to drink and splash, that was it, yeah. Whether they'd had a few to drink and confusing a seal. You know, porpoise seal. Confusing that as a human woman when they'd had a couple, you know. I read a book when I was a kid, I can't remember, and it was all about these people who lived under the sea. Sort of like Atlantis type of thing, but it wasn't Atlantis, it wasn't the film. That came much, much later. And I watched I read a book, because you did read books when you were kids, you didn't go to the cinema. And that was something to do with the people who lived under the sea. When you were a kiddie, I mean, I loved the borrowers when I was a child. I imagined that they lived in our house and they lived in the skirting boards and what have you got. And I was really into the borrowers. I had the borrowers of field, the borrowers, whatever. Read all the books. I was so into them. But I remember watching the film a bit later on when I'd grown up and I was so disappointed with the film. Because it wasn't like oh, hello. Who have we got now? Oh, we got Rosie. Hey, Rosie. Rosie always comes in with a rush. Yeah, I remember watching the film of the borrowers and being so disappointed. I don't know whether any of you have ever read books and then when you watch the film, they're not how you remember, are they? You know, you kind of have this in your imagination of what you think people look like, are, stuff like that. And I think if you watch the film, it's never the same, is it? I remember reading all the, you know, like Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights and things like that. You just like the books, what, the borrowers? No, I just like the films. I'd rather have the book. They're always altered, aren't they, from the book, yeah. I used to get disappointed with things like, you know, Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights and stuff. The books were always far more interesting. You see, I never read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, so the first... Right, you didn't like the movie, right? So the first one I actually saw was the film of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Arian had the book, but I never actually read it. Oh, the famous five. Mine was the ones, the ones who were afloat, Swallows and Amazons. They were my favourite books when I was a child. I just loved the thought that they'd sailed out to be on this island and were camping out, because as a child you think that's so adventurous. I mean, when I saw the film and I realised they were only on a little island that was about 2 seconds away from shore, just spoiled it for me. I like to think that it was an uninhabited island, you know. My imagination changed it into that. So the film of that was quite disappointing, Swallows and Amazons. I much preferred the book. I didn't really read Nancy Drew. I don't know whether she was like after my age group or something. I don't know. Because I had, like you say, the famous file, the Secret Seven. Was it Secret Seven, Famous Five? Swallows and Amazons, The Borrowers. Of course, we had Noddy and all them. Yeah. ECO Trot Blu-ray. What? Came today. What on earth is one of those? I don't know what it is, Nathan. You're always way ahead of me with all your bits of gizmos and stuff. I've ordered a Fire Stick. I'm always behind the times. Everybody else has had a Fire Stick for years. But I've just ordered a Fire Stick because I'm sick of watching the same old things on the telly. I've only got Freeview because I refuse to pay for Sky or Netflix or any of that stuff. Fire Stick's just a one-off payment. You don't pay anymore unless you need to. I'm not a film watcher. Oh, I'm getting really hot now. I've been cold all day and now I'm hot. Roald Dahl, ECO Trot. I still don't know what that is. I know the Roald Dahl books, but I only know the more. he's turning into Dr. Dolittle, I tell you he is. He's going to talk to all the animals, yeah. We might get a cat. Kitten. Might. It's not set in stone. We just might get a cat. We don't fancy anything else, like, you know, anything with beaks, feathers, you know, fur, unless it's fur of a dog and a cat. It's got to have 4 legs to live in this house. And I don't mean mice and rats. We did used to have ferrets a long time ago, but I've drawn the line at having more ferrets. And my youngest granddaughter had a house rabbit that was massive. Yeah. But she had to give it away in the end because she wasn't in long. You know, it was on its own too long. You have to be in, I think, to have things like that. My son would fancy a Maine Coon cat, but we couldn't keep it in the house. And somebody would steal it, it would jump over. Yeah, that's right, Munchkin. Blu-ray. The bloke that sold porno. There's always one of them dodgy people, isn't there? Oh, we've got a little fly on the wall. Well, I think it's a fly. It looked like a little ant, but it's a fly. Is anybody else plagued with them fruit flies? Oh, God, you can't keep fruit a minute without a fruit fly lands on it. Ugh. Have I drunk my coffee? Near enough. It's a pity Chris isn't on the internet yet, because I had fish and, well, I didn't have chips, I had fish and peas. Yeah, they're annoying little things, them fruit flies, aren't they? They're tiny, tiny little things, yeah. You don't send them my way when you let them outside, do you, Isaac? Yeah. Oh my goodness me, Nathan. Came from France, went to Belgium, and Are you sure it weren't with an immigrant? Didn't come over on a rubber boat, did it? Yeah, stop sending them my way. I did have a small one in here before. Yeah, oh no, I don't take them outside. Kill them. Don't like little things. I don't like wasps. I won't kill a bee, but I will kill a wasp. Don't like them things. Okie dokie. The little one was in before, but she's gone out again. Oh.
Motion detected at your front door.
That's my son going out. I love that when the post lady comes about 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm having a lie-in. Motion detected at your front door. You feel like saying, go away. It'll do it again in about an hour, 3/4 of an hour. When he comes back with, oh, hi, Diane. Hi, Diane. Yeah, he's gone to Blackpool Station to pick her up. Because she's got a poorly car. They were supposed to be going out for a meal last night that Trish's son had bought them, but they couldn't go because she was stuck in Radcliffe with her car, yeah. Yeah, I've heard people cut the top off a bottle of soda and turn it like upside down, yeah. So that they go in and they can't get out again. You know, if you put something like over they get trapped, you put jam or something sticky at the bottom, fruit and something, and they go in. Oh, you tried that and it didn't work. No, I've not tried it actually. I know they say put shiny pennies in a bag of water, don't they, and hang it in your doorway. And flies don't like, you know. I know what I don't like is when you order something and it says it's in Great Britain and then it comes all the way from China and it takes about 3 weeks, yeah. That's so annoying. They shouldn't be allowed to say that it's in Great Britain when it's not. Because when it comes, it's got the import on it and you know damn well it's come from China. I know things are probably manufactured in China, but I like to order them from the UK. Because at least then you've got some chance of sending it back, yeah. But when it's come from China and it's wrong, you're thinking, can't send it back there, can you? Hey, well, I don't know where the doggos are. They usually come in as soon as he disappears. Probably up to no good. Rosie's okay, she's clean, but the little one still has these accidents. She's still a little monkey with her accidents. Right. Scissors. Always a good idea to have scissors. It's tea time for you, is it, Trish? Right, that's one square done. I can't remember how many I cast on now. I think it was about 30 something. Oh, I should write things down. I've got absolutely oodles of empty note paper, you know, and I keep thinking I'm going to write things in them. Empty notebooks, you know, people who have these project books and write things in. I mean to. When I had a knitting machine, I used to do that all the time. Right, what wool I'd used, how many balls it took, what size I'd made, and how many, you know, needles I'd put up. Used to do that all the time. But I never do it with my crocheting, and I don't know why I don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 34, I think might be about right. Something like that. What am I making? I'm making just some little tiny wrist warmers just for my craft fair. I'm just making bits that I can sell for just a couple of pounds, that's all. Hey, Jane. Yeah, the room looks much better now it's all swapped about, doesn't it? At least I'm not sat in the drafty corner anymore. I'm sat in the hot. I'm getting hot now. I'm not putting any more logs on the fire. It'll stay warm enough for me. I'm reading Richard Osman at the moment. I like his murder club, Thursday Murder Club. My daughter-in-law doesn't like them. She says they're too far-fetched, but I like them. I've read all the ones by Ellie Griffiths, the one she was writing about the archaeologist. She wrote a whole series of them. Yeah, I'm making, I've got some hats already made up. I've got some hats and scarves. I'm going to make some headbands, as well as these little wrist warmers. I'm not taking anything big with me. My friend, she's doing all the Christmas ornaments. She's doing all of that. So, you know, we're just hoping to sell multiple things for a couple of pounds. BBC, oh, I used to love the radio when I was little because, of course, you know, you can use your imagination. I still fall asleep to the ones, there's some little short stories they read on YouTube. I fall asleep to them. They do Agatha Christie and they do a lot of others. I was listening to another load at one time, and then they took them off. Something about copyright or something. I've got some cowls already, Diane, yeah. I've got some cowls. You know, those like neck warmer things with buttons on. Got some of them already made up, so I don't need to do any of them. It's just the little things like headbands I've not got. Wrist warmers. I sold most of the wrist warmers I've made. And I've been asked to make some children's headbands this time as well. Yeah, my mum used to always listen to, on one of the BBC programmes, they used to do a play every afternoon. She used to sit and listen to that. She loved it. I can't forget what it used to be called now, but she always listened to it. Every afternoon she listened to that. But I quite like falling asleep to these. I very rarely get to the ending. I have to go and actually find the endings, yeah. Yeah, a lot of them. Oh, yeah, I love all these, you know, talking books like at night time when I'm falling asleep. As I say, I rarely get to the end. I've usually nodded off. I've got a little Kindle. It's just the right size because, like, you just put it next to your pillow. It's not like having a laptop or anything, where you have to sit up in bed with a laptop, don't you, or a Chromebook. But this is just a little Kindle, yeah. It's quite an old one. It's one of the first ones I've ever had. I've had it for years, but it just does for, you know, listening to something at bedtime. Because I can't always drop off, you know, at night. I've got Alexa in my bedroom, but I'm always frightened of it being too loud, you know, and Mrs. Dale's Diary, she used to listen to that, and the Archers. No, it was definitely a theatre that used to be on. Um, I'm sure it was on in the afternoons. Oh, she wouldn't miss Mrs. Dale's Diary. It used to be on after Listen with Mother, didn't it, Mrs. Dale's Diary? Yeah. I've never subscribed to the talking books. I did try reading when I was in bed. You know, I've got them on my, you know, I buy them or get them free off, you know, I'm on Prime on Amazon, like most people. And I did try reading, but then, you know, my eyes went, as you know. They are a lot better now. They're getting better, getting better. Oh, yeah, the bad guy never won, did he, in the old-fashioned, you know, in the old-fashioned stories, you know, they always had a moral, didn't they? The good guy never died, did he, you know? He always triumphed in the end. Yeah, one of the very ones I remember was that Journey into Space. When I was little, I'd be only, well, we moved house when I was 11, so it would have been before then. We used to watch Journey into Space, yeah. Well, listen to it, actually. That was fascinating to me, you know, obviously, way, way before anybody ever thought of going to the moon. It was all like make-believe. But surprisingly, I mean, it was like of its time, really, wasn't it? When you think about it, you know, it was like in the 1950s, it was unheard of for anybody to even think about going to the moon. But then in the 60s, it became reality, didn't it? Oh, yeah. It was funny. I watched a program the other day. It was about this guy, I think he's called Drew something or other, and he goes round buying antiques and that, does them up and resells them all. And one of the blokes that was on the program who was selling things, talk about the Queen's English. He must have been to elocution when he was young. I couldn't believe his voice. And he was so... And it wasn't like plumbing his mouth put on. It was the way he did speak. Yeah, you could tell. I thought, hello, you've been to elocution lessons when you was little. It was the dumb thing, wasn't it? Do I like Norman Wisdom? Some. I preferred his older work, where Drew Pritchard, that's the one. I preferred Norman Wisdom when he wasn't doing the slapsticks, when he was doing things like Bergerac, and then he did a film for the television where they were all old men in a cancer ward. I liked him in those when he was acting rather than playing the fool and falling all over the place. He was a very good actor, but they only let him act when he was older. He was in a lot of TV dramas when he got older. Norman Wisdom, yeah. But I wasn't keen on the slapstick stuff. My dad loved anything like that. He used to laugh like a drain at anybody falling over. You know, he loved Abbott and Costello, you know, and all them. He used to find them intensely funny, whereas I didn't. I mean, my dad liked Benny Hill, and I absolutely hated him. Yeah, Lee Evans did, didn't he? He copied him a lot, yeah. No, I hated Benny Hill. I couldn't watch him. He was creepy. Chasing all them young women about. Ugh, creepy. Yeah. Yeah, I can see where you get that from, Nathan. Yeah, he does. He was a creep, wasn't he? Yeah. Charlie Drake was a creep. Freddie Starr was a creep. Oh, used to make me cringe. Couldn't stand them. I couldn't find them funny at all. I like watching some films that come on. It's called Yesterday TV or Chubby Brown. I loathe him with a passion. He's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, Chubby Brown. He is not funny at all. If you cut out all the bad language, you'd have no jokes at all. He's not funny. Freddie Starr, yeah. He was horrible. Bernie Manning was another one. He was disgusting as well. He wasn't funny, making fun of anybody who had disabilities. I'm glad that things have changed now. They're not allowed to do that. Thank goodness. No, I never liked Freddie Starr. I never watched him. Benny Hill, oh, he was a creep. Running around chasing. Ken Dodd was funny. I didn't particularly like him, but he was funny. You know, but at least he didn't use bad language and filthy language like some of these comedians do. They can't do anything without swearing, a lot of them. Well, I don't think I've watched Jethro much. I don't like the ones who can't tell a joke without swearing. I'm not a prude, but I just don't like swearing. To me, it's not funny. You know, if that's the only way they can tell a joke is to swear, then no, I'll be obscene. Yeah? No, don't like it. No, I never watched Benny Hill. I had to see part of it when I lived at home because my dad loved watching him, but I used to go in the kitchen, do something else. I'm one of those, you'll always see me in the kitchen at parties, you know, I'm one of them people. If I didn't like anything on the television, because back in the day we only had the one telly. And your mum and dad chose what you were watching, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah, the odd swear word, if it slips out when somebody's doing something, you don't, you know, you put up with that, don't you? But you don't like it when everybody's, you know, every other word, yeah. Yeah, when your mum and dad, when I lived with my mum and dad, of course, there was only one telly and only a couple of channels back in the day. So they controlled more or less, unless I specifically said, you know, mum, dad, do you mind if I watch so and so program? You know, and they used to say, oh well, we'll do something else while you're watching that. But by and large, you watched what your parents watched, didn't you? You just didn't have a choice, you know. There was no like, I want the cartoons on because there wasn't any, you know. So I used to go in the kitchen a lot when I was living at home. My dad got homework to do and stuff like that. So I used to go in the kitchen. We had a little Dimplex, they were called, oil-filled radiator in the kitchen. And it used to be under the kitchen table. I used to sit the other side of the kitchen table, one of those old Formica table, nothing posh, a little Formica table with four little spindly legs. And I used to sit there doing my homework or doing my drawing. And the oil-filled radiator, I used to shut the door so I wouldn't hear the telly. And it was lovely and cosy in there. I used to go in there when I had my very first knitting machine as well. My mum bought me one off her sister. Her sister was selling them in Wales. She, new ones. And it was very, very basic, very, very basic machine. And she bought me one as a surprise. And I took to it like a duck to water, Oh, God. All my friends had jumpers, Only plain. That's all I could do was just plain knit. But I love that little knitting machine. I mean, I upgraded as I got older and got one that did things and it had a ribber and stuff. But the basic first one I ever had, it's one of those you wish you'd held on to it, don't you? Because all it did was knit and purl. It didn't do anything else. So there was nothing to go wrong. No gizmos, no gadgets, no buttons to push. It didn't do anything except knit and purl. That's all it did. And I loved that little machine. But we traded it up and got a better one. The better you go with the machines, the more gizmos, gadgets, the more things go wrong with them. I mean, I could not get that little Addy. I don't know whether it's because it's been in the shed, but I don't know how you lubricate them because they're plastic, yeah? So you can't, I mean, with knitting machines, you can put a bit of machine oil on and get them to run, but with these plastic things, and it was like this little handle going around. I thought, nah, I'm not doing any more. I'm going to break something. It just did not like my wool. As I say, with everything that these gizmos and gadgets, all these little round knitting machines that they're all going crazy, they're meant for American yarn. They're not meant for English. I mean, somebody had recommended me to go on this machine knitting site for the UK, and they were talking about it. And they were saying that they can only use an Aran or a fine chunky on theirs. And I thought, yeah, you're right. But I wanted to use up the oddments of double knit because I had loads and loads of part balls. Well, if you saw my video of me looking round, I've got that cupboard there. It's just got my half balls, part balls. Because I won't put those back in the shed. I've only got the full balls in the shed. I won't put part balls back in the shed because it looks messy. And I won't be putting any balls of wool in my new bedroom. You might see my sewing basket going in there. Oh, I've always knitted and crocheted from being little. I think it comes from when I was small. Of course, there wasn't a television. Or when we did have one, it was a 9-inch black and white one. And it only had one channel. And it used to go off for about an hour and a bit at night. So you put the kids to bed. It used to go off. I think there was the news and then it went off. No, I couldn't use double knit on the round knitters. It just kept snaggling. And it was missing all the stitches and looping. And it was... No. I used to watch that Sheepishly Sharing, was she called? She used to do all sorts on her round knitting machines. I don't know whether she's still on the channel. I haven't seen her for ages on YouTube. I think she was called Sheepishly Sharing. She made some fantastic scarves, like nutcrackers and snowmen and everything on the little round machines. But she was using the red heart, you see, which is a sturdy, like a 4. We're caught in the middle. Our Aran is a bit thick and our double knit's too thin. We're caught in the middle. I just wish somebody in the UK had made a UK round knitting machine, that took double knit. To me, the texture of it is too open work anyway. Oh, you're going, Yolanda. Bye-bye. I mean, to me, that is too sloppy, for anything. That. It's just too holy, isn't it? Too eek. It's like knitting on too big of a needle. Yet that is an Aran at the bottom. And it's knitted the Aran nicely. But I didn't have a load of oddments in Aran. My oddments were all in double knit. And that was the whole point. I was going to use my oddments up. So I'm back to the old crochet hook again. There was no way I was... Yeah, you'd have loved those scarves that she'd have made, that sheepishly sharing. I forget what her name was. I'm sure you somebody's you've watched her. But she did Nutcracker, like as a scarf. Oh, hello. I have a massage, as they used to say on Hello, Hello. That Frenchman who couldn't speak, the policeman who couldn't speak French. You have a massage. It's Erin B. Oh, God, the girl who reinvents the wheel. I can't watch her anymore now because I'm so fed up of her saying, do you like this jumper? Margaret, that's the one. She was called Margaret. I do not like people who call sweaters she. Isn't she a lovely? Isn't she? No, she's not a she. She's a sweater. She's an it. She's not a she. And it bugs me. Absolutely bugs me. And then there's another young woman who I used to watch, and I can't watch her anymore. She has this whopping big microphone. It's black, fuzzy microphone. It's the size of a large apple. And she's got it stuck in front of her mouth. So you can't see her mouth moving because she's got this blinking. And I did say to her, do you have to have the microphone so close to your mouth? And then there's another one that I watch. She's another sweet young thing, and she's got a big blue, huge microphone that she's... I'm sure they don't need to have their microphones like about an inch away from their mouth. I'm sure they could put it on the desk, talk into it, so you could see their faces. But they seem to be... I think they think they're a superstar on stage with this mic, you know. And I can't watch them anymore because they bug me too much. You feel like saying, take the mic away from your face. It's not endearing, you know. You're not on that, what's it called? Britain's Got Talent, you know. Yeah, I don't think Margaret makes... Yeah, she was called Margaret, yeah. Sheepishly sharing. I don't think she knits the same as she used to. She used to do some fabulous little scarves on that little Addie. You know, snowmen, nutcrackers, all kinds of things, pixies, elves, fairies. She used to give them all away to charity, to a children's charity. She made little hats to match and everything. I mean, she only ever used to use the red heart on things like that, but she did give everything away. She gave them all away. She did a lot of tutorials on how she did them as well. She was the one who got me to buy an Addie in the first place because I thought all their things were great. And then I found out that they don't work on English yarn. They should come with a little proviso at the bottom. These machines are meant for you. It's the same with the Centro. The Centros are the same. They're only geared for American. I don't know why we don't have universal thicknesses. You know, why, you know, I know we're in different countries and I know we're across the continent from each other, across the Atlantic or whatever it is. Why can we not have the same thicknesses? But I do love when somebody in America is using a 3.50 hook and they're saying, I don't usually work with such tiny hooks. And I'm like, what? To me, a tiny hook is like 175 or 2mm. But it seems to be like everybody wants to work on a 5mm or a 6mm. And all the patterns that you buy from the US are all on big hooks. Like, Tracy, does she have some American? I'm trying not to buy any, Jane. I'm trying to be frugal. I've got a shed full I'm trying to use up. You know, I've nothing against Tracy's yarn. I'm sure she's got lovely yarn and she's got good prices, but I'm just trying not to buy any at the moment. I'm thinking you are hoarding. You've got too much already. Yeah, I will promote Tracy. I will, because, she's a small business. You always try to promote the small people, don't you, rather than the big boys. And she does post out to America if you're interested in hobbyrocks.co.uk. Yeah. As I said, the only reason I don't order from Tracy is nothing to do with her yarn, her postage, or anything. It's just the fact I've got too much already. And I find it very hard to get rid of any of it. Because when I do get rid of it, I put it on eBay. I'm not being funny, but I only get about half of what I paid for it. And I wouldn't even mind if I got my money back. But I'm not one of these people who seems to get more than what I paid for it. I always take a hit, I always take a really big loss whenever I put anything on eBay. I'll put things like 20 balls of wool like for £9.99 and it doesn't sell, and you're like, what do people want? If you went to a shop, you wouldn't get 20 balls of wool for £9.99. Not the quality that I'm selling, if you know what I mean. I'm not selling junk, I'm selling, like ice yarn or hobby yarn or anything. I don't like crocheting with too thick yarn. There's one a lady that comes on. She does a lot of shorts on Instagram. I think she's called Pink Sheep or something. And everything she makes is in whopping thick yarn. But of course she's young and she appeals to these young ones with the style she does. Yeah. Yeah, I have got a little bit of American yarn, but I'm not in the mood for buying any, Jane, at the moment. It's just a question. It's not a question of being tight or not affording it. It's a question of I'm getting in the hoarding situation here with what I've already got, and I can't afford to give it away. I've paid for it and I'm going to use it, if you know what I mean. I'm not being awful, but I'm on a pension, and I can't afford to splash. People have said, oh, make cat blankets or, oh, give it away. And, oh, I think, yeah, right. Yeah, I'm full of ideas like that. Yeah. I do give away lots of oddments, and I gave away half of what I had hoarded. I gave it away before I moved here. So I lost hundreds of pounds when I moved here by giving stuff away. I gave away about 100 machine combs when I moved here. The knitting machines, I sold them for peanuts and wished I hadn't bothered, yeah. Oh, we've not had good weather here, Bellwether. No, it's not been good here. We seem to have missed most of the storm, whatever it's called, that storm that's been bombarding everybody. I should say touch wood, shouldn't I? We seem to have missed a lot of it. We've missed the flooding and all that lot. I mean, Manchester's been hit badly, and yeah, I do like this colour actually. It's like a turquoise blue, isn't it? It's nice. I do like my necklace. One of my favourites. Yeah. Yeah, it's not been great, the weather, but I can honestly say we've missed most of it, apart from a couple of days when it's absolutely torrential rain. I mean, my son put my sides down on my scooters for the first time this year, really. Yeah, Manchester's been flooding. Babette, that's the one. Where did they get these names from? But I mean, some places have had it really bad, haven't they? So I can't complain, really. We've had the rain, we've had the wind, but it's not been that. Well, you say that. Manchester's got a reputation for so much rain, and yet at least we had seasons when I was in Manchester. Here, it's always cold. Cold and windy. Even on a nice day, it's cold and windy, to me. I can never go out, even in the summer, in a dress without a cardigan. Whereas I used to do that quite regularly. I've looked at my wardrobe. I'm going to put away my summer dresses and bring the winter ones out. And I looked at, and I thought, half of my summer dresses, I've never had them on. I've never worn them. Half of them are still there. They've never been on this year at all. I'm putting them away and I didn't wear them. So I'll be getting my long sleeve dresses out again. My basic long sleeve dresses will all be coming out again. But I might wait until, well, I don't know whether I'll wait until, because the workman's going to be walking through my bedroom and it's going to get full of dust and dirt and Lord knows what. So I don't know whether to go up on top of the wardrobe and get my dresses out and put the others away. But I'm in a bit of a, trying to get things ready for the craft fair. So I might leave it until after, when I'm rearranging my bedroom. I might leave it until then. Because I've got stuff under the bed as well. Wear a cardigan. You have to have a coat, I tell you. The number of days I have not worn a jacket, not a big coat, but a jacket, over my cardigan. It's never sunny here. It's never hot. I can count the hot days on one hand in here. Whereas Manchester, it used to be gorgeous. When's the craft fair? November the 4th, I think. It's a Saturday. I'm just doing bits, though. I've got a load of stuff to sell already. I just need to go in the shed one day. Sort it all out. I mean, my son and my daughter-in-law are away on that day, so it will be literally one bag that I can carry on my scooter. Although my friend's husband isn't working on that day, so she did say if I have more than one bag, he could perhaps call and pick it up, for me. So we shall have to wait and see. But I'm not taking a whole pile of stuff. I'm hoping to fit it all in one of those laundry bags, the big laundry bags. Yeah, I'm hoping to fit mine in there. But the polystyrene heads take up quite a bit of room. When you're taking like 3 of those, They're only light, but they do take up bulk. Then I've got a couple of hands, like black velvet hands that I put my wrist warmers on. Need to find them. They're all in the shed. I'm just being lazy. Just being lazy. I'll have more room in the shed when I move the doll's house and move the doll's furniture and move the sewing machine, things like that. I'll have more room then. I've never sorted out my patterns yet. It's just a question of sitting, for hour upon hour, sorting through the patterns, putting the children's, ladies. They're all in a great big pile that they've been in since I've moved, really. I've got the folders. I've got those plastic, A4 size plastic things that you put them all in. I've got them, but I'm just not dedicated enough to sit and put them in. Oh, there's a lot of things I should be doing and I don't, yeah. All right, Trish. It is Trish, isn't it? Yeah. We'll see you all next week. Bye now. I think she's following Shad to his hayride. If not in body, she's probably going in spirit. Well, I don't know where the doggies have gone. They usually come in here when anybody goes out. They must be upstairs. They've probably sneaked up and gone on the bed. That's where they usually go when they go out. Given half the chance, yeah. But the little one looks funny because she's wearing her knickers because she's in season. but she won't keep them on. And Rosie takes them off her. She helps her to get them off. So we have a job to keep them on her. We bought her a pair of proper dog pants, but they just keep sliding off her. Because she hasn't got a tail, she's only got a stub. She's a Frenchie. So we haven't got to get the ones with the hole for the tail, You put nappies on, Kiki. Yeah, every now and again I go in the shed and I tidy it all away. There is no wool on the floor. That is one thing I'm adamant. I won't have wool on the floor. Everything's in bags and everything's on shelves. But it's all the other things, isn't it? The buttons and the crafty bits and the knick-knacky bits. That's the stuff that gets all over the place. And patterns, I've got a habit of going through the big rafter patterns thinking, oh, I quite like that one, and putting it on one side. And before I know, there's a pile about that high of patterns that I like on my table. And I'm thinking, you can't, what you pulled all them out for, because you're not going to, they're all, oh, I like that pattern, put it on one side. Oh, I like that, put it on one side. And it might be 6 months, might be 12 months, might be never that I'll actually do that pattern, but I've pulled it out and put it on the table. I tell you, what is it? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. I've got lots and lots of good intentions. I'm full of them. But it's hard for me at the moment because, I used to crochet all the time, design things, make things, put them up on Etsy and sell them. But when you haven't got that outlet, when you haven't got Etsy, you haven't got anything to sell, it just puts me off making anything because all I'm doing is making things, if I don't want them myself, making things to hoard. So there's no point to me making any more things to potentially sell when there aren't any sales. I mean, everybody's complaining at the moment. People are selling anything. I don't mean just crochet, I mean anything. Saying that the sales are not there, yeah. Oh, I haven't got my flashing flowers. You're right, I haven't. I forget to plug them in. I do. Forget. Well, my eyes are settling down. If you noticed, I've not said I can't read tonight. Not had my glasses on. I've not been going, what's everybody writing? I've not been doing that tonight. I haven't had my eyes tested again yet. I still think I need readers. Because the other day I was on the computer for a little bit longer than maybe I should have been, and I got an ocular migraine. Ocular migraine, if you get them, are funny. You don't get the headache, but you lose the vision. It's like flashing all across and you lose the vision out of one eye and that. The first time it happened to me, oh God, I thought, my God, I'm going blind here. But it isn't, it's ocular migraine. But it's just as damaging to your eyes as migraines are. And so I did get one of those. I've had two since I've had my eyes lasered. But I'll tell you a funny story. I went in and she wasn't the most patient of people. And she goes, have you had your drops put in? And I went, no, I didn't get given any drops. Oh, you should have sent some drops. I said, well, I didn't. I said, I'm sorry, I would have put them in if I'd have got them, yeah. So she puts these drops in. She goes, it's delaying things now. You're going to have to sit in the waiting room now. I thought, well, fine, fair enough. Not my fault I didn't get any drops to put in, is it, I need your pupils to be dilated before I can do this, right? Fine, I'll sit in the waiting room. I don't mind. So then about half an hour later, she shouts me back in. So then she has to put these other drops in my eyes, yeah. And then she sticks you on a thing. You have to put your chin on a thing and look straight ahead. And she's going, look at me, look straight ahead. She said, you're not looking straight ahead. I said, I am looking straight ahead. No, you're not. She said, your eyes are moving about. If you keep moving about, I can't do it. I'll do more damage than good if you don't stop moving about. Now, I think I've mentioned before, I've known since I was in my 20s that my eyes wobble. Oh, hello.
Motion detected at your front door.
Hello.
Hi.
Don't know where the girls are. And my eyes do that while they focus. So she says, "You're not looking straight ahead." I said, "I am." She says, "Look at me." I said, "I am." She said, "No, you're not." So I thought, ugh. So then she said, "Look to the right." So I looked to the right like that. She goes, "Now you're looking at me." And I'm like, "Eh? Do I normally look at people through the sides of my eyes?" As I looked to the right, she said, "Now you're looking at me." So then she ding, 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 ding. It doesn't hurt, but it's just annoying because it's like lights flashing in your eyes like that. So then she gets to the left one. She said, "Right, look at me." "You're not looking at me." "I am looking at you." "Look straight ahead." "I am." "I can't do it if your eyes keep moving." "Look to the right." So I looked to the right again and she goes, "No, that's fine now." Ding, 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 ding. So I obviously must go around looking to the right. So excuse me if I start looking like that, looking at you. Yeah. We used to have a maths teacher when I was at school. He was called Mr. Frisbee, I think, or Mr. Frizzle. I can't remember. Joe Frizz, we used to call him. And he had eyes that pointed in different directions. We used to call it a wall eye. One looks forward, one looks sideways. And then he'd say, like, "You boy," or "You girl." And then two people would stand up and he'd say, "Are you trying to be funny?" But we honestly didn't know who he was pointing at, because he would be pointing with his finger and looking in two different directions. I can always remember him, Joe Frizz, he was called. Forever in my mind. Yeah, ocular migraines. I get colours. I get green and red, usually flashing across like lightning, zigging across. I get it from bright lights. That's why I never used to, when I used to drive, I never liked driving at night, because the headlights coming towards me used to draw my eyes, and I had to sort of more or less. I mean, now they sell glasses that are nighttime glasses, which I would have to have if I did still drive, but I don't drive anymore, so I'm all right now. Oh, good night, Isaac. Enjoy your weekend. What's left of it. Yeah, so if you see me looking at you sideways, I'm actually looking at you. Oh, dear. It only happens to me, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm a queer duck, yeah. I've always been a bit left of centre, or whatever you want to call it, yeah. I've always had trouble with my vision. I can't track anything. You know, when they say, "Oh, look at the plane in the sky," I'm like, where? And my son's going, there, look at the plane, all red. And I'm like, where? I can't track it. I can't find a plane. I can't play any kind of ball games because I can't hit the, can't play tennis, badminton, table tennis, can't play any of those. I go for the ball where I think it is, and it's straight past me. My son, when he was little, used to get so annoyed. "Hit the ball, Mum, you're messing about, stop it." And I'm like, I can't. I once went to get tennis lessons at school, and she said to me, "No." I have got some chocolate here, Val, but I'm not actually supposed to be eating it, but I might just get tempted into one bar for the week. Yeah. Yeah, I went to do tennis lessons at school. And after about half an hour, she said to me, "I think you'd be better off playing hockey." She said, "I'm not saying you can't come back." She said, "But I think it's a bit of a waste of time." Yeah. I mean, I used to play netball, but I was never a shooter. Yeah. I always used to play in the field, whatever you call it, passing it to somebody else. I was never a shooter. I always wanted to be a shooter, but I couldn't. I'd never hit that net thing. We've all got our limitations. See, you've reminded me now of that one. I've got a Kit Kat and I shouldn't be eating it, but I'm going to. My blood sugar will be all up the wall tomorrow, but do I care? No, I don't care. You have to live dangerously, don't you? I was going to say you're only young once, but I'm not young. I'm not young. And having my eyes lasers means I can see all my wrinkles now. So I no longer look as beautiful as I thought I did. It's a sad life, isn't it? So I'll eat the chocolate. Hardly any chocolate on these things anymore, aren't there? I swear they used to have a good half-inch chocolate. They're called chunky, but they're not very chunky, are they? Oh, thank you, Val. Have you had your eyes tested lately? I've got all these wrinkles. What they say about laughter lines, nothing that's funny. Yeah, I think I need fillers. Except I would never do it. Oh, yeah, Joe Frizz, yeah. He was like Marty Feldman, if you remember who he was. Marty Feldman had one eye that looked that way, and one eye that looked straight. I can't remember if he was called Frisbee or Frizzle. Probably Frizzle or Frizzell. But we always call him Joe Frizz. He used to teach us some maths. I think it was maths. But it was always you boy. Oh, you boy. We never knew who was pointing at. Because he'd call you boy if you were a girl. He never called you girl. It was always you boy. He used to have us standing up while we did mental arithmetic. Yeah. No, both his eyes weren't pointing in the same direction. Nathan, one used to go straight and one went over there. He used to have you all standing up. And I could do mental arithmetic because I worked in a shop. And but I used to get very, very nervous. And we used to fire questions at you. And you had to do them in your head, mental arithmetic. Oh, I used to hate that. Because I was one of the last ones standing up. Once you got it right, you could sit down. I was always one of the ones that was standing up. Never got it right. I was so nervous. My brain just deserted me when he shouted at you. And you. It'd be like when I was on telly. When they asked me a question, I was like, couldn't think of a thing to say. Luckily, I was with 3 other girls. They answered for me because they could see I was like frozen. I was like, my brain just deserted me. All these cameras pointed at me. I just couldn't do it. Yeah, when I used to do ballet and dancing, I used to adore being on the stage. I was a right little show off when I was little. Couldn't get me off. You had to get a hook to get me off the stage, when I was little. Get her off. She's doing an encore of a tap dance. You can't get her off. I was one of those annoying little Shirley Temples, that wanted to sing and dance for everybody. Then I grew up and I went shy. I mean, people said to me, how can you sit and make videos and things like that when you couldn't do it on the telly? I'm like, well, I just talk to a camera. I don't talk to anybody who might be watching me. I don't think about maybe there's so many people watching me today. I don't think about that. I just sit and rabble on as if I'm talking to myself. I never think about who's going to watch the video after I've done it. I never think about that. If I was one of those people who had like about 1 million followers, you know, I might think, ooh, but I don't have that many. I'm not interesting enough to have loads of followers. I'm not a sweet young thing prancing about in half a top, you know, showing all the wherewithals off. They must all live in warmer climates because all they ever seem to make are them little boho tops, like 2 cups and a bit of string, you know. Festival tops. Oh, thank you. My loyal followers, they stick with me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm very appreciative of the few I've got. They never grow. I don't think anybody ever recommends me to a friend, you know. What they say, like and subscribe, and if you think I'm interesting, tell your friends. Nobody ever does. But still. But I've got a loyal little band, which I'm very grateful for, who stay with me through thick and thin. Yeah, I think these young ones only wear dental floss, don't they? What about them tights that are flesh colour? They look as though they're walking around nude, don't they? There was a picture the other day of somebody complaining that they thought this woman in the gym had got nothing on. And it turns out she had a pair of flesh-coloured pink leggings on. And I'm thinking, why would you buy a pair that look like you're not wearing anything? She might have had a nice figure and she might have been in the gym, but not good taste, is it, wearing a pair of pink flesh-coloured leggings? If I had the figure, I wouldn't wear a dental floss bikini. I've always been a bit more covered up, even when I had a figure. See, I've got a long memory. I wore a bikini when I was young, obviously. We all did, didn't we? Well, most of us did. The men didn't, perhaps, but, you know. But I never wore a titchy-witchy little one. It was always quite sort of substantial, if you know what I mean. Not quite up to the waist, but, you know, not a triangle and bits of string, you know. It was always like a pair of pants. You know, like a pair of small briefs, really. I never wore anything that was too revealing. And when I was younger, it was all one piece, really. Yeah, no, they look weird when they look like they're nothing on. I don't see the appeal in wearing them. Mind you, I'm not of the age or the figure to wear leggings. I wear leggings, but I only wear them for the warmth. I wear them underneath a big skirt because, you know, the cotton skirts are a bit chilly this kind of weather, so I wear leggings underneath them just to keep me warm. I don't wear them to walk around in a pair. I do not have the figure to walk about in a pair of leggings, trust me, not even with a long top. When you've got a good pair of chunky principal boy legs, you just keep them hidden under a skirt or under a pair of trousers, yeah. You know, I look as though I should be in a pantomime, you know, slapping my thighs, yeah. What do they call them? Jumper thighs or something. Even when I was anorexic, trust me, I was anorexic when I was about 30. I still had big thighs. Never lost the weight off my legs. It's really weird, isn't it? Yeah, that was a bad time in my life when I was anorexic. I suppose it was a mental illness in a sort of way, but back then they didn't acknowledge it, whatever. I just stopped eating. Stopped eating. My mother was going frantic. It was because I was going through stress with my ex-husband. And I just stopped eating. Just didn't want to eat. Every time I thought of food, I felt sick. So it wasn't a conscious choice. I didn't think I am going to stop eating. I didn't. It just happened that way. And then once the stress was removed out of my life, obviously I started eating again. Oh, I'm not. Oh no, I've never been 700 pounds. Oh my God, no. I'm still too heavy. Well, I've just eaten a chocolate bar, which I shouldn't have had, Nathan, so I'm not having a good week either. I've been good all week. Good all week. I think I've had one piece of cake. It was a small piece of cake. That's the only naughty thing apart from that Kit Kat that I've had all week. It's so hard to stay on it all the time, though, isn't it? You've got to have a day where you go bonkers. But so long as it's not every day. Yeah, if it was every day, it would be bad, wouldn't it? But I'm not really losing much weight. I'm not putting any on, but I'm not really losing. Maybe a couple of pounds. You know, you think not having chocolate biscuits, cake, whatever, the weight would come off you, but it's not. Yeah, I know the feeling. It's like when you finished your meal, I'm all right, I can eat a diety kind of meal, but I'm always been used to having sort of a pudding or afters, as we used to call them. What's for afters? I mean, I'm having yogurt with some fruit and that, but it's not the same. I used to always finish off my meal with a couple of biscuits or a little piece of cake or something like that. Or even a bit of tin fruit, which I can't have because, of course, it's got the sugar in it, the syrup. Yeah. I know you can buy the ones that are in juice, but they're not the same. But, yeah, I'm having to try and make do with yogurt. It's not the same. But I'm not losing any weight. I've maybe lost a couple of pounds, but you think not eating chocolate cake, biscuits and that, the weight would come off you, but it's not. It's not moving. Yeah. And I'm not snacking and I'm not sneaking. I've not had any. Yeah, those side effects are. No, it is. It's. I mean, mostly bellwether. Mostly, I don't care. The only reason I'm caring now is because they want me to go on insulin because I'm a diabetes, and I don't want to do it. So the only way I can stop, I can not go on insulin, is to cut down on my sugars and cut down on everything, and hope to. I can't reverse my diabetes, but you know what I mean. Get it under control. So that I can control it with just the tablets. Yeah, yeah, I can't exercise. I can hardly walk these days. I got out the chair the other day and my knee went. It just went, my knee. Yeah, my daughter-in-law's, oh, you need to walk more. I tell you, walking round IKEA or even leaning on a trolley did me in. I keep thinking I'll try armchair exercising, but I'm lazy. I know, I'll hold my hand up, I'm lazy. But when everything hurts, you know. Yeah, well, I am calorie deficiting, but it's not obviously not enough, Nathan. I'm obviously not eating little enough. Yeah, well, it's normal at the moment, but only because I'm on tablets, yeah. But it's not bad for my age. I mean, I went to see one doctor the other week when that nurse wound me up, and I finished up going to see the doctor because I was so upset. And he said, you know, he said, for your age, he said, everything's good for your age. He said, you know, your cholesterol's fine, your blood pressure's fine. Admittedly, I'm on tablets for it, but my blood pressure's fine, cholesterol's fine, my weight's fine. He said, yeah, you're overweight. He said, but so is like most of the population. But you're not obese. You know, I sit in the doctor's waiting room and I look around thinking, God, I'm like skinny mini around here. Some of them are whoppers. And they're all young, and that's what worries me. You know, they're like about 20, 25, and they're in the waiting room, and they're like massive, massive people. And I'm like, I don't feel so bad. You know, I feel quite slim compared. I know I'm not slim, but I'm not by any stretch of the imagination. I do need to lose more weight. It would be better for my joints, better for my back, better for everything, yeah. I don't calorie count. I couldn't do a diet where you have to, and I couldn't do that Slimmers World where you have to do sins and stuff like that. I couldn't do that. I don't take Orlistat, no. I'm on metformin, and then I didn't want to take the, what do they call it? The statin. But they make you. They tell you all these horrible tales, you know, about you got to take statins and all that. And then you read all these other things online saying statins are bad for you. So you don't know what you're doing. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, aren't you? You know. I know you shouldn't read Dr. Google, should you? But we all do, don't we? You know, it turns a headache into a brain tumour, doesn't it? You know, if you read Dr. Google, you always got some obscure disease you're going to die from. When it turns out you've got a bit of eczema on your finger, you know. Yeah, it has to be a lifestyle change, and that's what's the annoying thing, Nathan. Oh, when you're old, they want to stuff you full of all sorts, don't they, Mimi? Take this, take that, take the other. And you're like, no, do I have to? I went for one of those reviews, you know, with a pharmacist a while back, and I'm saying, please tell me one of these tablets I'm taking I can do without. And he went through them all like that. I went, no. I said, well, how come I never used to take anything when I was about 70? Maybe a vitamin pill now and again. And now all of a sudden I'm taking about 12 pills a day. And he said, ah, well, you see, you're getting older and things are wearing out. And yeah, when I think about how much weight I've lost, I keep putting it on and losing it and putting it on and losing it. I keep losing the same 3 stone. Well, I have a query fibro. It was never diagnosed. They were going to diagnose it before I came here. But then, of course, COVID came. So I never got diagnosed. So with me, it's a query fibromyalgia. Some days, everything hurts, you know, up my bones of my arms, up the bones of my legs. They just ache, ache, ache. And they keep saying, oh, it's arthritis, but I'm not sure it is. And yet if it's warm, other days I feel, you know, not too bad if it's a warm day. My bones don't hurt or ache. And yet if it's raining or it's damp, oh, my bones do hurt. All up the front of my legs, from my ankles up to my knees, and from my wrists, from my fingertips really up to my elbows hurt. And it just hurts all the time. It's like toothache in your arms and toothache in your legs. So, but I don't know if I've got fibromyalgia because it's never been diagnosed. So I'm never one of those people who say, oh, I've got it. I might not, yeah. No, mine's my pancreas is packing up, but that's old age, a lot of it. Because I said to her, well, you know, why is my pancreas packing up? And she said, yeah, well, it's age, isn't it? your pancreas is kind of worn out. I thought, well, yeah, I get real bad pain some days, Nathan. Some days I don't want to get out of my bed because my bed's warm and cosy. When I'm lying flat in my bed, most of the time I don't have any pain. But the minute I move and the minute I get out of bed, it's I mean, this morning I was laying in bed and I thought, I'm not getting up. I've got nothing to get up for. I'm staying in bed. But eventually, of course, your bladder says, yeah, you got to get up. And you get up and your knees hurt, your hips ache. I know. Mind you, when you think about it, our great-grandparents would have been dead at my age, wouldn't they? So I suppose I should be grateful I'm still here, you know. 78 next month. 80's creeping up. As in that program that's called Crack. I don't think you mean crack. I refuse to take them, Nathan, and that's why I am in pain. My painkillers are now not even on my prescription because I won't take them. I don't like the fog. And I keep getting told I'm being stupid, but I just don't like being drugged up. I was taking 8 today. I've never been taking 20, but taking 8. And I only take them now if I'm having a really, really bad day. They put me on these, but they're supposed to be a toricoxib, and it doesn't do any. They don't do anything at all. Nothing at all. I might as well not bother taking them. They don't do anything. You've got to take one a day on an empty stomach in the morning, and it doesn't do a thing. Doesn't stop the pain. Doesn't stop anything. Oh, crack cocaine. Oh no, I wouldn't want to take that. No. I want to buy a bit of marijuana if it's ever legalised. I won't buy it off a street corner or anything like that. But if they ever legalised it, you know, I might like a bit of that, I think, because that just relaxes everything, doesn't it? Your muscles and stuff. But I won't take anything that's not prescribed. So I won't. Our disability officer, when I worked at the DWP, used to say, what you need is a joint at night to relax all your bones. Because he had, what did he have? That thing you're born with. Where there's a hole in your back. Cerebral palsy. He had cerebral palsy and he couldn't get his muscles to relax at night to get to sleep. Until he had, you know, a joint, yeah. Spinal bifida, yeah. But yeah, you see, it was illegal for him, and yet it's been proven that for cases like that and for Parkinson's, it's supposed to be wonderful. But yet they won't legalise it over in the UK. And it's good for people with seizures and epilepsy and things. You can get it on a street corner, but God knows what you're buying, you know. I mean, when I lived in Prestwich, the lad across the road used to sell it, yeah. But I've never been a smoker anyway, so I wouldn't know what to do with it. Marijuana doesn't help. Oh, no point me taking it then, is there, if it doesn't help? Arian said you need to bake it, you need bunny cakes. Because I said, well, I don't want to smoke it anyway. But you can have marijuana oil, can't you, or something? Yeah, cakes or brownies, yeah. Makes you hungry. Oh, God, no, I wouldn't want that then. I know it gives you the munchies, doesn't it, or something? We'd be no good then, Nathan. We'd be on my £600 life, wouldn't we? If we went on it. My next door neighbour tried it, the oil one time, the proper stuff. You know, because she, unfortunately, she had cancer. She passed away with cancer. But she tried the real cannabis oil. But she said it didn't do any difference. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, she had it for cancer, but she didn't really take to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, the 17, so I need to do 2 more. So no, I've never taken it. I've dated people who took it. I finished with one lad because of that, well, one bloke. Because he had personality changes when he was on it. I didn't like it. He got quite nasty. So that was the end of him. I thought, no. It was overuse, and he also got quite paranoid, actually, as well. And he used to accuse me of all sorts of things. I thought, no, I can't be doing this. So bye, you're gone. He had to go. Couldn't cope with that. Morphine patches never did anything. We have Voltarol, but that doesn't do anything for me now. Neither did the morphine patches, didn't do anything for me either. I got some other patches, but they just made me skin itch. They weren't prescription ones. They were just like those hot pad things you stick on your back. The only thing that used to work for me, and I need to sort it out, was a TENS machine. But I put it away and the pads have gone not sticky anymore. So I need to get some new pads for it and a battery for it. The TENS machine, it doesn't work all the time, but it just takes the pain off you for a while. I used to strap it on when I used to take the dog a walk. I used to be able to walk around the clough for Buster with this thing going on your back. No, I just had morphine patches. The other patches I've got are the ones that you buy over the counter, you know, those hot patch things where they tell you to stick them on. But I must be allergic to them or something because I get itchy skin with them. They're nice and warm. I must admit, they do warm your back where it's hurting, but I get red patches and itches where it's been. I must be allergic to the stuff that they stick it on with. My best thing of all is those wheat things. You put them in the microwave. They're like a long sausage thing made with, I think it's got wheat in it or lavender in it. Put that in the microwave, stick it in my back, go to sleep. Great. I don't like hot water bottles because they go cold. So do like me. In fact, I put it on my back sometimes when I'm, sat on the chair. I haven't even tried while I've been over here to go to see an orthopaedic. There's not a lot they can do for my back. They could give me new hips, but I don't know whether I want the operation. It's not the operation, it's all the physio and stuff you have to do after. Backwards and forwards to the hospital while you do your physio and stuff. I keep thinking, as long as I can keep on walking and taking my pills for the pain, I'll carry on, I just don't really fancy having new hips. Oh, I have to buy my own, Jane. We're getting out on the NHS here, I tell you. Oh, you're lucky I can't even walk a quarter of a block. I can walk a few houses. I can walk around The supermarket, I've got pain. If I lean right, I can't even wheel the trolley like that. I have to lean right over the trolley. Because my son will say, stand up, stand up. You look a fool leaning over the trolley like that. I'm like, practically got my head inside the basket because I'm like leaning right over it. My daughter-in-law keeps saying, stand up. You'd have less pain if you stand up. But when I stand up, it pinches the nerves. And when I lean forward, it frees the nerves. It's like when I sit down, the pain frees for a while. But when I'm standing upright, it must be pressing down, on your spine. It's all, my age, all your bones are wearing away. I was very active when I was younger, always working, always doing things and stuff. And I think you just wear your bones out. My mother was the same. My mother made me look lazy, and yet, other people used to say, good God, Janet, you're like a whirlwind. Always on the go, always on the go, which I always was. But my mum, my goodness, it's no wonder she wore her back out. She was, when I think about what she used to get through and what she used to do and working and all the jobs she used to do, it's no wonder she had a bad back. She wore herself out, my mother did. People used to say, God, you're like a whirlwind. They used to say I'm lazy compared to my mother. So my mother can run rings around me. Even when she was 80, she could run rings around me. Oh, yeah, I lean on the cart. I can't walk without leaning on the cart. When I see myself walking, I think, oh, my God, you're like an old woman. Stand up. It's your sacroiliac joint. That's what went with me. Oh, hello. Somebody else sending me a message. No, I've had spinal surgery. It stopped me being paralysed, so I cannot complain. But it didn't exactly. He did say to me, if you're hoping that this operation will cure the pain, it won't. He said, all it will do is stop you being paralysed. No brainer, really, wasn't it? But he did warn me at the time. He said, if you're having this operation thinking that your pain's going to go away, no, it won't. So there was no cure. There's no magic potion that people can wave over you, sadly. Once your spine starts to disintegrate, there's absolutely nothing they can do. I'm waiting while they do 3D printouts. They can give you a new plastic spine. That day will come, believe me. Probably not in our lifetime, but it will come. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 32. Yeah, I fully believe that one of these days we'll have plastics. They'll be able to do 3D printing, won't they? Of any bit we've got that's missing. Or they'll do research into like axolotls so that we'll be able to grow a new leg or grow a new arm or a finger or something. I used to get lovely injections, Mimi, but they stopped them money-wise over here with the NHS. Oh, you're going, are you now, Lilac Roses? Bye-bye. See you next week, hopefully. Yeah, I've had injections in my spine. I did, and Sue did as well, if you remember Sue. But they won't do them anymore now. They didn't take the pain away, but my goodness me, they did make it a lot easier. I used to be able to walk about and do some shopping and do all sorts of things when I had my injection. But sadly, they don't last long. After about 5 months, they start wearing off completely. After 6 months, they've gone altogether. And now they won't do them anymore. They give me all this gumph about they found out that it wasn't, beneficial or something or other, or it was causing something or other. But I think it just all boils down to expense. Yeah. Oh, good night, Jane. Go and count your what do you call it, your nutcrackers. Go and say good night to every one of them. I hope you bid them all good night and tuck them in. Tuck them in for the night. We were talking the other day, me and my friend, she's like me, bad back and everything. She's really bent over double. Saying if we had money, we would have one of these, like an osteopath on tap where you could go kind of, or a physiotherapist where you could go, once every couple of weeks, or, you could have one of those massages like the Thai girls do. I had a Thai massage when I went to that spa. Oh, it's so relaxing. I'm not saying it does you any good, but it's so relaxing. You feel on top of the world when you come back out of there. When they do your head and your neck and your shoulders. Yeah, it can do, Nathan. Some people, I had them in my hips as well. They were brilliant, but again, they've stopped them. I had a needle right in my hip because he said I was a model patient. I never even flinched. He said, I wish all my patients were like you. I said, well, when you're in so much pain, a needle in your flank doesn't exactly make you flinch. That worked wonderful. That needle in my hip. Oh, it was great. But they've stopped them. If you had the money, it worked for me, yeah. Mimi. My injections have worked for me and they worked for Sue. I think you were unlucky, Nathan, if it didn't work. Yeah, if I had money and I could just order up a private physician, you could get whatever you wanted, couldn't you then? But while you're at the mercy of the NHS, it's like, sorry, no money about. Acupuncture, for me, is a very temporary thing, Nathan. It works for about a week or two, acupuncture, and then everything. Oh, we've got to pay for anything like that here. We don't get anything on the NHS. Everything. Chiropractors here are about 60 quid. I think I get a bit of a discount for being old, but that's about it. I can't afford things like that. It's all to do with money, isn't it? If you win, if you've got money, you can. I know they say money can't buy your happiness, but it can buy you a bit of health. It can buy you operations when you need them. It can buy you treatment when you need it. So it would be nice just to have. I don't want a load of money, just enough to do things like that. Just to be able to say, yes, I'm going to the chiropractor, Yeah, pain relief is very hard to get. You're right there. But it wouldn't be if you had money. If you had money, you could get injections. You could get anything you wanted. A hot swimming pool every day. Can you imagine being able to slide into a hot jacuzzi or swimming pool every morning? As you got out of bed, you could just go and... I mean, we've got a hot tub, but it's out in the garden. You've got to go out in the garden, open the top up like that, climb in it. Too much of a faff. But if you had like a jacuzzi bath in the house that you could, a sunken one, so you could get in it, yeah. Oh, God, having £744 in the first place, Nathan. Took me all the time to find £130-odd. No, I can't get them anymore on the NHS. No, they lasted about 6 months, 5 months, 6 months for me, for the spinal injections, but they won't do them anymore. It's all a load of excuses. Yeah, I've just skimped myself. I've got to pay for this wall to be built for my bedroom. And I was saving up for a holiday. That's the only reason why I got the money. I was saving for my holiday. And then I've just paid £180 for some logs. I've just paid 50 quid for a fire stick. No, they don't do it in the doctor's office. They do it in operating theatre. Well, they did with mine anyway. It has to be done under sterile conditions. When I've had my injections, I've had ultrasound, is it, whatever they call it, a scanner. And doctors, nurses, everybody. Anaesthetist to give you the anaesthetic and stuff. Because you have to have a spinal block before they can do it. Yeah, that's why it costs the money, because you're paying for all the doctors and the nurses in the operating theatre to do it for you. But it's got to be in the right position. It's got to go in between, the spaces of your spine. That's why they need not the X-ray, the scanning machine to make sure they put the needle in the right place. Yeah. Yeah, I was in theatre all 3 times I went, yeah. That's why it costs so much. That's why they're stopping it, because the NHS is broke, isn't it? Also, they keep saying. As I'm saying, if you had money to go to somewhere like Bupa, which is like the private healthcare but even with Bupa, you would have to pay, because Bupa only take people. They won't take you with any existing conditions, which at my age, most things are existing conditions. So there would be no point me joining Bupa anyway. We almost joined when I was married a long time ago. We almost joined Bupa. At the time, you see, there was 2 wages coming in. My husband had a good wage at the time. So we could have afforded the Bupa, yeah. Oh, well, don't ever go for a colonoscopy then. They do more than show your backside. When you have a colonoscopy, that is worse. That is most embarrassing. You have to turn around and point your backside to the machine. That is the most embarrassing thing I've ever had done. Was a colonoscopy. You're trying not to think, aren't you? People circling about it with, oh no. Just lie there and relax. How can you relax when somebody's fiddling around with your backside, yeah? It is so embarrassing. I think the poor doctor having to do that all day long, looking at people's backsides. Do you have job satisfaction? Yes, I just love looking at people's bottoms all day long. Yeah. Oh no, they don't put you to sleep for a colonoscopy. They just give you a pill to swallow that makes you sort of. No, they give you an injection in your arm that makes you a little bit, well, not out of it, but a little bit spacey. But you're not asleep. No, you know what's going on. Would you like to watch? He said. I said, no, thank you. I do not want to watch. Yeah. Do I want to watch? He said to me, look, here's a polyp. And I'm like, I don't want to see, thank you. It's just like up a big. When you look up and you think, oh, I hadn't looked at that. Look at a polyp. I'm like, no, I don't want to look at a polyp. I wouldn't know what a polyp was if I saw it. No, I don't want to look at it, thank you. I'm just removing it now. Don't tell me what you're doing. Just do it. You were knocked out? No. No, they didn't knock me out. I had sort of like a twilighty thing, you know, because you're able to go up and out straight after, you know. No, they don't put you to sleep anymore for anything, do they, these days? I even had my knee done. They didn't put me to sleep for my knee. Knee replacement. It was like somebody doing DIY on the other side of the blue screen. You could hear this drill and this hammer and this chisel going, and you're thinking, my God. No, you only find dead bodies when you go walking first thing in the morning, Munchkin. That's when you find the bodies. That's why I never went out first thing in the morning. That's the ones who find things floating and hanging. Yeah, I don't think I'd fancy being specialist in piles and things like that. No. Proctology, did they call it? Imagine spending all your day looking at, oh no. It's bad enough looking up ladies' bits, isn't it? But they're usually having a baby at the time. So at least they know what they're looking at. It's best of all when you go to a teaching hospital, they say, do you mind if the students come in? And about 10 students come trooping in. And your legs are kimbo. And you, oh no, please. I hope none of them know me. I hope they don't see me in my private life and think, oh, there's Janet on there. There's Janet. No, that is embarrassing. But they always say when you've had a baby, it's yeah. When you've had a baby, you show it to the window cleaner, you know. Anything in a white coat, doesn't matter if he's delivering the food, you know. He's got a white coat on. He's got to be medical. He could be the cook bringing the dinner trolley round. Yeah. Hello, doctor. Because they all used to wear white coats at one time, but they don't now. They all have different coloured uniforms. So technically you should be able to tell what grade they are by what colour of outfit they're wearing. Oh, hiya, Cass. I wondered where you was. We've still not got Chris. He's obviously still not got his internet yet. Got thinternet, yeah. No, not the milkman, no. The worst is when you're in the bath and the window cleaner comes to clean the window. You don't know where to run, do you? They always seem to, don't matter what time you have a shower or something, the window cleaner always calls. Tramp, 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 the boys are marching. That's what it sounds like when they go across the ceiling to bed. Tramp, 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 the boys are marching. I'm sure they wear hobnail boots. No, it's the ceiling above. No, they should have different coloured stethoscopes, shouldn't they? Then you know who was the supervisor. Should bring back the matron, shouldn't they? Things used to run a lot better when we had the matron. She used to keep all the nurses in control, didn't she? And they used to clean the window bottoms and do everything, didn't they? We used to be allowed to have flowers and stuff. Nowadays, you're not allowed anything. Things are not cleaned properly. You have to beg to get your water filled up, don't you? And it's like, don't drink the water in the bathrooms. You have to drink the water from the kitchen. Why? Well, I die of poison when I drink the one out of the bathroom, yeah. This is not drinking water. Well, what kind of water is it? I like that. Caution, this water is hot. And you're like, oh, no, it's not. And they say, this might be a bit cold. And they put the stethoscope on you and you go, ah! You have to scrape you off the ceiling. Yeah, my daughter and I had to go to a pantomime. One of the kids, I think we were in a pantomime. That's why she had to go back on the train, because the cars broke down. We were supposed to go for a meal yesterday, but my daughter-in-law was stuck in Radcliffe with the car broken down, so they had to cancel the meal. Oh, God, it was bouncing down yesterday. Really bad, the rain. I had to put the sides down on my scooter. Sides have not been down for months. I don't like it when the sides are down on the scooter. It's very claustrophobic and I fog up. I must be hot stuff. I fog up, yeah. Oh, hey. Yawny, yawny. What time is... Oh, another half hour. Yeah, where does it come from? The water in the bathroom when they say don't drink it. Where does it come from? I'd like one of them water fountains in the house. You know, where you have to buy them big water thingamajigs, icy water. I used to drink loads of water when I was working because it was like icy cold, you know, and you used to get it out the fountain thing. I don't like hot water, if you know what I mean. Room temperature water. When I lived on my own, I used to have one of those things, you know, you put filter water in and stick it in the fridge. There's never any room in our fridge. We've got a massive big tall fridge, and yet there's never any room for any water. That's why I don't drink water anymore. I don't like it from the tap. It's horrible. I keep thinking I'll price up a water fountain and see how much it costs. I'd love one of those in the kitchen, but there's no room for one. But then I would drink more water. Yeah, the water cooler. I'd love a water cooler. Oh, I don't know what ours has gone up. I'm not even asking. I just pay a set amount each month to them, and they pay all the bills and stuff out of it. I pay a set amount, and it covers the bills and the food and stuff. Yeah, I like a bitter pitcher with a filter. If I can't get one of them. One of my friends has just bought one of them cooker things. You know, those taps, but they cost an absolute fortune. Where you can have boiling water or icy cold water or sparkling water, but they cost a bomb. £38 a month. What, for a water cooler? Or for the water bill? No, I'll look up how much it costs for a water cooler, because I could have one in my bedroom, couldn't I? Or the bill. I could always put one in my bedroom if there's no room for it anywhere else. It's not the same though, is it? Bottled water's a lot nicer. Our water taste is horrible here. Manchester water was much nicer tasting. I don't know what they do to it here. I don't know whether they put too much fluoride in it, or sometimes it tastes like bleach. My son keeps saying it's just the same water. It comes from the Lake District, the same as in Manchester. Then why does it taste different in Manchester than it does here? I didn't mind drinking tap water in Manchester, but here, ugh, it's vile. Yeah, I get told off, you don't drink enough water, you're not drinking enough. What am I making? I'm just making some little squares to make little small wrist warmers, you know, just to sell for cheap at my craft fair. They're not posh ones, they're just little ones. But I did sell quite a few that were really cheap. I'm just using oddments up, you know, oddballs I've got left over. Try not to spend any money. I mean, I spent on the dolls. I've got to work out how much each doll cost me. And then if people want to buy the dolls, even though they're second-hand dolls, I need to get my money back from the dolls. I won't get much for making the clothes, but oh, well, never mind, Esther. Grandsons are important. Oh, I'm not not saying our water's not safe. It probably is safe, Nathan. It just doesn't taste very nice. But I don't do the shopping, so I don't buy the bottled water. If I ask them to, they will buy it. I like the fizzy water as well. If I ask them, they will. But I still would prefer a water fountain. Yeah, I'll just leave a little thumb hole. It won't have a thumb. It'll just have a thumb hole. A lot of people buy bottled water. I think if I did the shopping, I would buy bottled water. But I don't do the shopping. So I've got to remember to ask them to buy me bottled water. Yeah, it's a bit like that. It smells like the swimming pool sometimes here. I don't know what they do to it. I know they've got to kill the bugs, but blimey. I don't know which is worst, drinking the bugs or drinking the fluoride and the chlorine. I don't know which is worse, whether we'd die from the bugs or die from the bleach. It's odds on, isn't it? Yeah. There's never any room in our fridge for water things. I used to have, those Brita things in the door of my fridge. But I had a big American fridge. Oh, you've given up with the jumper. Yeah, you need to concentrate on it for sure. Oh, that must be nice to have an ice maker and a water dispenser on your fridge. We don't have anything, and we don't even have ice cubes. The ice cubes are in the freezer, and the freezer's in the blooming garage. So when you want a couple of ice cubes for your water, you don't want to go tripsing all the way out to the garage. Yeah, I think I'll have a water cooler in my bedroom. That'd be nice. I'm sure you can buy a small one. You don't have to buy a whopping one that they have in offices. I wouldn't want to drink our tap water though, Nathan. It tastes funny. No, I don't like it. I can just about drink tap water if it's got something like Vimto or orange squash in it. I can't drink water on its own. And it's disgusting. I mean, the diabetic nurse said, you need to drink more water, you need to flush your kidneys, or blah, blah, blah. You don't drink enough water. I said, no, I don't. It's because it tastes horrible. I used to drink far more water when I lived in Manchester. But here it's vile. She says, well, you need to buy bottled water. Yeah, it should be filtered for the animals as well. Should be filtered for the dogs. Our Frenchie drinks an awful lot of water. It's no wonder she wheezes all the time. So every time I turn around, she's in the water. Rosie drinks water, but not half as much as Trixie does. They're still debating whether to breed from her, but not this time. She's in season at the minute. But I said she's not mature enough. She's 18 months, but she's not mature. She'd probably abandon her puppies if she had them and wandered off. A mini fridge? Not really. I'm not bothered about a fridge. It's more a freezer. If they sold a mini freezer, I might get one of them. Well, that'll be all right. Aquaid water. I'll look that up. Depends how big it is. I don't want a massive big cooler, because the ones we used to have at the office were huge. No, not frozen water. I would like ice cubes. That's one thing I would like, ice cubes. I don't think mini fridges have got a little freezer compartment, have they, to get some ice cubes in? If they had a mini fridge like that with a little compartment, then I might get one. And then I could put ice cubes in and water. I don't mind getting bottled water if I've got a fridge to put it in, because I don't like it when it's hot. I don't know. It depends how much room I've got when I get this extension bit. It's not going to be that big, my extension, so I'll see how much room I've got, whether I've got room for a tiny fridge. I was thinking more of a, the ones that sit on like a beer fridge, but they don't have a freezer compartment, I don't think. Them little beer fridges. I don't think they've got an ice cube place. What about those new fridges where you can tap on them and look inside without opening the door? That's a bit excessive, isn't it? Your hand's frozen. You've probably got carpal tunnel. A mini freezer, £109. Oh, I might have to save up. I'm a bit skint now at the minute. £180 for me logs, 400 quid for me wall. Bang went me holiday money that I was saving up. You're out walking, Kiki. Ours went out this morning. Well, about lunchtime, I think. Ours went out. We have to be careful taking Trixie out at the moment because she's in heat. So we can't take her out when it's popular, if you know what I mean. We don't want any accidental matings. Oh, Lizzie. Oh, she's gone back to London, has she, your friend? Oh, yeah, bye, Kaz. See you next week, hopefully. Yeah, your friend's gone back, has she, Lizzie? That's sad, isn't it? I bet you've enjoyed having her there, haven't you? You never know. One day I might get a passport. I might come and see you one day. But don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath, Lizzie. The way things are going, I'm like 2 steps forward and 3 steps back with my money at the minute. I'll never save the money up for the airfare. We'll keep walking past the takeaways. I know the smell is very interesting. But keep walking, Nathan. Think of your diet and think of your wallet. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Maybe we'll get Chris next week. Yeah, your diet, your waistline, and your wallet. Resist. It's best if you go out walking when you don't take your wallet with you, then you cannot be tempted. You don't take your wallet out with you. I never used to take my purse when I walked the dog. Never used to. I used to just take my keys. I used to think, well, if anybody wants to mug me, I've got no handbag, no anything. Because I used to walk in the woodland with Buster. Not that he would have let anybody come anywhere near me. He might have looked placid, but by gum, if anybody had put a hand on me, he would have had a good chomp. But I never carried a handbag because I think it's temptation if you just out walking a dog. Yeah. Well, I never used to. I don't think I had maybe I did have a mobile phone. I don't know. I don't think I even had a mobile phone when I had Buster. I might have done, but it was only a bog standard one. Nobody would have mugged me for it. You know, when you've got, that's the advantage of having a cheap phone. No mugger worth his salt and bother mugging me for it. And I don't have any jewellery, so they wouldn't rob me for my gold. Or my rings, because I don't wear any. And I think my watch cost me £5, so they wouldn't mug me for that either. I have nothing. I never have anything on me with mugging. So they'd be very disappointed if anybody mugged me. Where's your gold? I've got gold earrings. Will they cost them? They might get you a couple of quid at the pawnbrokers. That's about it. Oh, ad will run shortly for some viewers. Sorry about this, people, but I can't. No control over the adverts. No control over them paying me for any adverts. I was laughing at Sheila, you know, the one who does she does these shorts, and she was saying that she'd got so many thousand viewers on one of her shorts, and she earned 5p. 5p she earned. And there was thousands of people who'd watched this blooming shorts that she'd made, and yet they paid her 5p. YouTube must make billions, but they don't pay out. Well, they don't pay me, let's just say. I'm obviously not one of the big high flyers. As I've said before, I do not do this for the money. Oh, good night, Mimi. I'll be going shortly. In another couple of minutes, I'll be off myself. It's time for me to go to beddy bows. Take my makeup off, take my tablets and get a night's sleep. I do like my mattress. It's a nice one. I got it from IKEA. Paid a lot for it, mind you, but I thought, well, I'm going to have, this is going to be my only mattress. I'm not going to be buying another one. So I thought I'll buy a decent one. Anyway, it's been good. Didn't get one too firm, but it's not too soft either. So it's been a good mattress, I'll say that for it. Right, it's getting nearly midnight, nearly the witching hour, so I'm not doing any more crocheting. It's not too bad, is it? I've got two small pairs out of a ball of Stylecraft, which is probably about £2 a ball, is it these days? So they'll have cost me £1 each to make them. I'll get nothing for my time, will I? But, at least I'll get my money back from my wool. Rush back for midnight, but it's Cinderella because you fit this thing on your watch. Resets at midnight, all right. Yeah, I'm Cinderella. I always try to go to bed by about 12, yeah. So, anyway, thank you all for your company. And hopefully I will see. I keep saying I'm going to make a video and I never do. I never seem to find the time. And I've got nothing to say. I've got nothing to show you, nothing to say. Although I have ordered a new book that may come. It's a crochet book, so it may just come. So I may just have something to actually show you if it comes. I didn't do my magazine because by the time I got around to it, I'd had the magazine 2 weeks and Tracy from Crochet Rocks had done a review on it. So I thought there's no point me doing one as well. She's done an open with me video on the same book, so wasn't much point both of us doing the same book, was there? So if you missed it, it was Inside Crochet, I think, and Tracy's done it. If you look at Crochet Rocks, look at her open with me's if you want to look what's on crochet magazines and things like that before you buy them. She does more than I do. She also does the knit ones as well. Open with me on the knit ones. So I've got, what, a plate and 2 cups, yeah. Oh, I desperately need another crochet book. Yeah, I do, Val. I'm missing out. You know me, if I see something appetite, I've got to have it. And when I get it, I wonder why I bothered, you know. But if it comes, I will bring it and show it to you on Wednesday if you're there. Oh, no, you're away. Oh, no, you're not. Are you away? Can't remember, Val. Can't remember if you're away or not. She's always away, Val. She's always away. Never at home. Yeah, she's like, I think she should buy a caravan because she's never at home. She's like the wandering Jew. You're not there. Oh, you're away. I didn't know whether you'd be away, you know, with Eric not being so good. So thought you might have had to cancel it. Right, nighty night, everybody. As usual, thank you all for your company. And I am going to go to beddy bows now. Well, eventually I've got to wash up and tidy up and do a few things. Oh, you're not away. Well, if I get a book, I'll bring it and let you have a look. So thank you all for my thumbs up. And I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Bye, y'all. Bye for now.